Okay, what's up GITV? This video is going to be done for a customer of mine that I actually built one of my F-Chus especially for her. She's actually a competition shooter. So Laura, this is your practice trainer, and as promised, I'm going to show you how to basically tear it down so you can perform basic maintenance on it, re-oiling the pistol once it starts getting kind of gummed up and stuff. I know you put the pistol through its paces, so instead of you having to send it in to me all the time, just for basic maintenance, let me show you how it's done. So basically, since the slide cocker doesn't affect the scope barrel and stuff isn't affected by the slide racker in any way, you can actually just go ahead and break this down like your real 1911. So basically, you pull the slide back to the slide catch is on that little indent right there, and go ahead and push the slide catch through, and once you can go ahead and pull the slide up and off. Okay, alright, so the next thing we're going to move on to is how to basically disassemble your upper, so we can actually get in there. You're going to find that there's a lot of buildup that builds up on the spring guide and actually along the ends of the barrels here and stuff. There's also a lot of buildup that kind of gets into the inside of the slide too, so we want to clean that out at the same time. To completely, basically what I like to do is to get the build off the slide, since most of the parts here are metal. I like to use this CRC QD electric cleaner. This is actually made for automobile electric contacts, and these plugs actually have little rubber seals in it, so it's actually it's safe on plastic and silicones and stuff. This is the easiest cleaner that I found that does not ruin the seals on the airsoft guns. Make sure you have some thread lock, because you're going to need that, and a 2.5 or 2.5 millimeter Allen screwdriver. That's pretty much all you're going to need. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to push forward on the spring guide plug, and you're going to get it to clear the slide. You're going to grab the end of the plug and the spring guide, you're going to push it together, and then you're just going to extract that. Now, what you're going to find is you're going to find some buildup along the spring guide, so you want to wipe it down with your microfiber cloth, and you're going to want to basically clean out the inside of the spring guide plug here, and you're going to see some gunk actually comes out of there. So once that's done, you can set that aside. Same thing with the barrel. With the spring guide out, you can actually just pull the barrel out the front of the slide. This is actually going to disassemble just like your real firearm. So and then again, you're going to basically wipe everything down. So you're going to get the inner barrel to basically clear this flap right here, and you can actually pull it straight out back. Okay, and that's the inner barrel in the hop-up unit. And basically, again, just wipe down the barrel, the microfiber cloth, get it nice, clean, and shiny. Okay, you're going to find that this is actually how the barrel kind of comes together. So you're just going to make sure that that's screwed together, keyed in and screwed together. Okay. Alright. And what I like to do on the inside, because we don't really have too much that can get in there, is you just take some of the cleaner and you spray out the inside, and what you're going to find is some darker, gunk coming out the end of the barrel there. So just spray it till it comes out clean, and the inside of your clamp's going to be nice and clean. That's for the barrel. Now, similar to how you would clean your actual pistol, you take the cleaning rod that came with the pistol, put a little swab of paper towel, kitchen towel, you can use like the red shop rags and stuff like that. Get it lubricated with some silicone oil, and you're basically just going to push it down the inner barrel, and you're going to basically just twist it and swab it through, and what you're going to find is it's going to be kind of dark right there, some buildup inside the inner barrel. So basically, just like when you're cleaning your pistol, you're going to look down the barrel, and as long as you see that it's nice, smooth, clean, there's no obstructions, no debris in there, you should be good to go. Now, where you're going to find most of the gunk is you're going to find it inside the slide rails, obviously, and it's going to be all built up around the top of the slide. So before you spray the whole slide down, what you're going to do is you're going to take your 2.5 millimeter Allen screw, and you're going to screw this screw on the back of the slide. You're going to basically unscrew that. Okay. Get that screw out of there. And then later on, you're gonna basically, to put it back, a little drop thread lock there and screw that screw back together. This is called the blowback unit. It's actually gonna come straight out of the pistol. So basically you're gonna look for this portion, just hold the loading nozzle, and that's how you're gonna grab it. Okay, so that's gonna be your hop-up or your blowback chamber, and you're gonna find a little spring rolling around in there. Go ahead and take that spring out, and there went your slide catch. Basically, the way this spring sits in is you're gonna find that the thicker coiled section is going to be facing the front, and the uncoiled section is going to be facing the back there. Okay, this is basically when your blowback chamber moves forward, it'll basically move it back in place. Now, in your case, this whole section right here was completely dry. So what you're going to do is, once in a while, if the gun's together, if the whole pistol is together, you can actually access this by basically racking the slide back and putting a little shot of silicone right through there. Otherwise, basically what I like to do is take your silicone oil spray and go ahead and just spray a little in here, let it work itself down. And what you're going to find is once you put it back together, let it key in, it's going to move real smoothly. Okay, if it's dry, the rubber is going to be basically biting on the side of the loading nozzle, and it's not going to be moving kind of smoothly. So just make sure that moves smoothly. And your slide racker, basically it just keys in just like any rear sight on a pistol. Make sure you keep it even. Make sure the spring goes back in and it's facing the front. And what you're going to do is you're going to keep this basically level like this, so the spring won't come out, and you're going to basically lower the slide on top of the blowback chamber. This is just to keep that spring from falling out. You're going to notice these two side kind of flats here, they kind of stick out. Those actually key in right there. So basically just aim it properly. See, I can't really move it back and forth, and just slowly put it back into place. Okay, and if you did it right, you're going to find that this point is going to be pretty much even with this point on the slide, and this point is going to be pretty much even here, and this is going to be pretty much even there. And when you look in the back, the hole in the thread is going to line up. Alright, and as you can see, there it goes. You heard it kind of click in place. Everything's in place. There's no big space there. The holes line up there. Everything is even here. Okay, so basically take your thread lock. Just put a small drop onto the screw. Drop it in place and screw it down. Now you don't want to tighten this screw as much as you can. You're basically just going to want to, get it in there, and right when you feel it bottom out, just turn it a little bit more, maybe like 1 or 2 hours. Okay, this screw does not need to be that tight. It might actually seize up the blowback unit. So you just want to make sure that it's the thread lock that's keeping the screw in place, not how tight it is. Okay, and then when you work the loading nozzle, it should actually move freely back and forth like so. Okay. Alright, we pretty much clean everything. It's time to reassemble your pistol. So first thing you're going to do is your inner barrel and hop-up unit is going to go into the outer barrel. Basically just slide it back in place. Remember, this flap needs to come over off to the side so it can actually slip on and over, and basically key back in place. Okay, now before I do that, I like to make sure that I put a little bit of silicone oil in this portion right here, because it's going to be kind of hard to get silicone oil in there later on, but the few drops that you put in here will actually stay fairly lubricated, because the gas doesn't actually really touch that area. Okay. Alright, now what I like to do is I like to put a layer of silicone oil along the top of the outer barrel. Alright, and you basically just you know, evenly distribute the oil all over the barrel. You insert the barrel through the front of the slide like so. Okay. Now for the spring guide, you're going to see how I kind of flared out the coils at the end of this. This makes it so that's going to be the bottom. Alright, so the spring won't actually push past the two buffers I got there. Go ahead and reinsert the spring guide plug, and I like to actually spray this down with some silicone oil as well. You know, don't be scared to get silicone oil everywhere. You can actually wipe down the entire pistol later on. Basically, you're going to hold the spring guide cap in the end of the spring guide like so. Reinsert the spring guide and just let everything snap in place. Alright. Now, I'm going to actually be sending you two types of oils. One's a silicone oil spray. This one is actually a silicone oil gear lubricant. I like to use this because it's kind of thick. It's not as light as the silicone spray, so I like to use that on the slide rails here. Basically, you shake it real good, and when you spray it out, you want to make sure that it does get this kind of bubbly, you know, gummy consistency there. Kind of looks like some watered down jam. Get that onto your Q-tip. And you're basically going to wipe down all the slide rails with this. So I'm pretty sure on your pistol you're using some form of grease that's kind of gummy, but we don't need to worry about any kind of heat. So I like to use this. It's a little thicker, so it actually doesn't kind of dry out on you on its own. It'll actually be there after a few hundred shots. So basically just wipe down all the spots where the slide would actually kind of come in contact with. Okay, you don't have to worry about anything in the trigger assembly. I took a look at that when I disassembled your pistol to pin the safety, and all of that lubricant was still in good shape in there. So, alright, along the slide there. Alright, so we got lube evenly distributed onto the slide rails. Go ahead and take your upper, slide it over the lower. The opposite of what you did to take it apart. Everything should slide together. Move that indent right there to where the mag catch can actually pop into place, and you're good to go. Alright, once you get everything oiled up, it should be real nice and smooth. See, the slide here. Alright. And if you don't like the oil that's all over the place, basically just take your microfiber cloth and give it a once over there. Clean off all the excess, and there you are. Alright, everything's pretty much maintained, and you know, you can get back to it and continue your practicing. Alright, and for any other people out there watching, you can actually use this for any Hi-Capa, KJW 1911 Tactical, or any 1911 for that matter. Everything's going to actually be fairly similar. So that's how I like to maintain my pistols. My name is Frank, and Laura, I'll talk to you later.